Well, the nationwide manhunt continues tonight for escaped killer Grant Hardin, who walked out of a North Arkansas prison on Sunday. Questions about his past and his ties to Northwest Arkansas have been swirling ever since. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Allie Lynch. After obtaining a nearly 200-page file from Fayetteville Police Department, we learned Washington County's former sheriff worked alongside Hardin. KNWA's Gabriella Phelan reports.
As the manhunt for Grant Hardin continues, connections and ties to Northwest Arkansas still are unfolding.
To the best of my recollection, Grant was just off.
Although this connection may come as a surprise.
And I ran for sheriff in '04, and the rest is history. I was sheriff for 18 years.
The former sheriff of Washington County, Tim Helder, who spent nearly 40 years in law enforcement. Before he became sheriff, his career led him to the Fayetteville Police Department in 1982, where he stayed for 21 years.
I started at the sheriff's office in 1979 as a dispatcher and worked my way out to patrol, and then tested for Fayetteville PD. They had a little better financial program and retirement, so I went over there in '82.
In 1990, his paths crossed with now convicted murderer and rapist Grant Hardin here at the old Fayetteville Police Department, where at the time he served as an administrative lieutenant.
And he just was an odd fellow that just didn't fit the mold of a police officer.
In the nearly 200-page personnel file released by Fayetteville PD, Helder's name can be seen on many of the letters handwritten by Hardin's field training officers. To some extent, he remembers what they said.
Grant was observed by his training officers as somebody that was uncooperative, was resistant to their direction, which that's a big part of the training program. And when they recognize a deficiency, they identify it, and he would basically resist that tutelage.
Helder even served on an oral interview board where Hardin was an interview subject, saying this seems to be a case where Hardin somehow managed to slip through the cracks.
But you also got to remember, he went through a psych test. He went through a civil service testing. He went through oral boards and written for the police department and passed those things. I would agree with those that I've seen respond to Grant's personality and everything. He more than likely is a sociopath.
Then Helder was referenced on a letter requesting the decertification of Hardin.
We got to have the right people that are carrying guns and dealing with the public and solving their problems, So I think today, as opposed to back then, I think he probably would have been washed out and he would never have gotten back in law enforcement.
Helder says, looking back, Grant certainly seemed off, but he never expected it would amount to this.
Well, I don't think there's any way to predict that somebody's going to turn out this way, but the problem is, now that he's escaped, he's got a law enforcement background, he understands forensics, he'll be very elusive, and I just worry, when it comes to face-to-face with him, or if he comes upon an unsuspecting patrolman, what will happen.
Now he's expressing concern.
I just fear it's not going to end well.
And that was our Gabriella Phelan reporting. Today, the Commission on Law Enforcement Standards and Training told us Hardin's not decertified, but as a convict, he obviously cannot work as an officer. Hardin did not receive his certification from Fayetteville PD, and after his firing from there, he went to work for Huntsville PD. It's unclear if that's where he earned his certification. Well, an update tonight from the Arkansas Department of Corrections. They say their focus remains in the North Central Arkansas region for their search teams. Officials tell us they have looked into and investigated all of the tips from the public. At this time, none of them have come to fruition. The reward money has increased on any information regarding Hardin's whereabouts. There are 2 rewards currently being offered, $20,000 from the FBI and $5,000 from the U.S. Marshals, for a combined reward of $25,000. Anyone with information is asked to call 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip online at tips.fbi.gov. And we want to remind you